What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. And we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao news update. Pacquiao's sparring partner speaks on Lomachenko. I just wanted to come and bring a bit of news to you guys about this topic. Manny Pacquiao has been sparring with one particular partner for a while now, and he's coming up himself through the ranks of boxing. You know, as a, I believe he is a 130, 140 pound fighter, but I think he's campaigning around 130, 135. He's a strong guy, has a great chin from what I heard. He's one of the next guys to be up in the sport of boxing at 130, 135. So he was just coming and giving his 2 cents about what Lomachenko had to say last week about Manny Pacquiao being too old, you know, him being over the hill and no need to make a name off of an old fighter, which to me I feel like is just Lomachenko's way of backing out of any potential fight, kind of shunning any talks of a fight between him and Manny Pacquiao, and kind of protecting Bob Arum at the same time. So I don't feel like this is I don't feel like Lomachenko is in any position to dictate, number one, any terms of any boxing deal him and Manny Pacquiao would have had. You know, whether he's old or young or money. He wouldn't be the A side in that fight. So according to boxing, I hate that term A side, but according to boxing and the A side, he wouldn't be the A side in that fight. So he wouldn't be able to dictate to Manny Pacquiao. So probably another reason that fight would never happen is because he wants it at a certain weight, and Manny Pacquiao kind of wants it at a certain weight. Because there's no need for Pacquiao to go down in weight and then back up in weight and try to fight some more welterweights. You know, this late in his career, losing 10 to 15 pounds is just it's unnecessary. I just feel like it would be a great fight. I think fans would love to see that fight. I think it's a big money fight. It's a sport-defining fight. Like a fight like that could, like what the Mayweather fight was supposed to be, it could define the sport of boxing for the next few years. You know, when you put two amazing athletes like that up against each other, you know, anything can happen. You know, we used to get fights like that all the time, and sometimes you didn't even have to pay for them. A lot of them came on ESPN, and you know, a lot of them were free fights. You know, on Friday night fights, but you don't get that too much nowadays in boxing. You know, with promoters standing in the way, with guys ducking, or what they call being the A side, guys pricing themselves out. Just a lot of tactics are going on in boxing right now when it comes to you not wanting to fight another guy because of such and such reason. And I feel like Lomachenko could put up a good fight. In that fight, I don't think he wins if he takes on Manny Pacquiao. But I feel like he puts up a good fight for a few rounds, and it solidifies his name as a guy moving up, trying to move up to welterweight. I don't appreciate boxing and what they're doing right now when they're not placing guys against, you know, when number one's not fighting number 2, 3, or 4, he's fighting number 15, 16, or 17. Or, you know, number 5's not fighting number 6 or 7. He's fighting number 30 or 40. You know, it's just ridiculous. And it's all about money. It's all about guys trying to position themselves to be, have a bigger name, or be, you know, have more fame, or be more popular. But it's kind of killing the sport of boxing to me. It's really killing the sport of boxing. To touch on what Manny Pacquiao's partner had to say, I'm going to quote Boxing News. Now Doran, if you want to go check out his article, you know, give him the credit for this. He was just speaking about Manny Pacquiao. All accounts is in great shape, you know. And I spoke about that in one of my other videos. You know, Manny Pacquiao is never not in shape. I mean, when do you see Manny Pacquiao? He's not like ripped, you know, six packed up and, you know, just ready to eat. One thing about Manny Pacquiao, I feel like that defines him as a fighter, other than just his speed and all around athleticism, is his legs and the size of his calf muscles. I think they make him so sturdy as a fighter, and they give him the ability to move around so much. I think that's why he has the ability to beat so many fighters. Because when you look at other fighters, even really strong guys like Mike Tyson didn't have a real big calf, so he has a real big, heavy upper body that he needs to move around, but he has these real small calves and thigh muscles to move him around. So you see a lot of guys who come out of prison look like that too. They build up their fight muscles, but not their core and their balance muscles. So I think one thing about Manny Pacquiao that puts him a level above every fighter is just the size, sheer size of his calf muscles. You know, it's amazing. He was saying that even at 40 years old, you know, Pacquiao is still one of the greatest, you know, in sparring. You know, his speed and angles are still unpredictable. And the way he puts power behind it is still unpredictable. So he was saying that Vasyl Lomachenko is dreaming basically if he thinks that Pacquiao's age is what defines a fight and not his skill level or his athletic ability or his punching power or, you know, his speed. You know, he just touched on that a little bit. He was saying, let's move on a little bit. Speaking ahead of the fight, one of his main sparring partners spoke with the media, how's camp going, and addressed certain comments by one Vasyl Lomachenko. Lomachenko is considered one of the best fighters in the world today, pound for pound, but as mentioned as above, fight between him and Pacquiao is unlikely now. Both fighters are signed to rival promoters. So, you know, that's another factor. Is I feel like Bob Arum is the role that Bob Arum played in Manny Pacquiao not fighting Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, it just seems to me that he was protecting not Vasyl Lomachenko as a fighter, but his brand and the longevity of his brand, and where's the brand going to go from here? Is it going to move forward, or is it going to be stagnant? Because only having Terrence Crawford and Vasyl Lomachenko is not enough for Top Rank. You can't put them two together ever, so it's impossible to make a mega fight between them two. I mean, he can possibly move him up, but then Terrence Crawford will have to move down the weight to fight him still at like 140 or 145 or something. They're not going to fight at 147. I don't think Lomachenko could ever make 147 and be technically still good. He can make 147 and be big and slow, but he'll just be a big, little, slow guy. So there's no way you can match them up. There's no type of tournaments you can make to be like, well, this guy and this guy fight Crawford and this guy fight Lomachenko, and then the winner gets to meet in the middle. There ain't nothing they can make around those two fighters. You know, there's just no way you can match them up. So, from what he's trying to say is that Top Rank is really just standing in the way of that fight happening. You know what I'm saying? So, is it ducking? It's not ducking by Lomachenko, because I think Lomachenko would fight him if he was with PBC. But I think Lomachenko is dreaming if you think he can win. I think it's ducking by Bob Arum for Lomachenko. And Lomachenko is just the victim of being stuck at Top Rank along with Terrence Crawford. They stuck on Top Rank Island, stuck on Bud Island, stuck on Lomachenko Island, man. So it's sad in a way. You know, them guys are gonna be there for a while, according to the contracts. And you know, at some point, Bob Earl's gonna have to cross the track and start, you know, accepting less money to cross. You know, to put these guys up against PBC fighters or the zone fight, whatever the zone fighters they have. You know, I don't think the zone has too many lightweight fighters. But at some point, he's going to have to find somebody to match these guys up with. You know, there's really nobody for him to match Lomachenko or Terrence Crawford up with, who has a high-level name like all these guys sitting over at PBC. And Terrence Crawford keeps claiming he's that guy, he's that next guy, which, I mean, he might be that skilled and stuff, but he hasn't fought anybody. He's not proving it because he keeps fighting the same top-ranked fighters. Washed up top ranked fighters, this top rank. You know, nobody wants to see that no more. It's a whole new crop of fighters out there who the people that the public are interested in, not the fighters that Top Ranked thinks should be the next guy. Top Rank thought 5 years ago should have been on. You know, the public dictates who the next guy is gonna be. So all these guys sitting over there at PBC is what the public says are the next crop of fighters that guys like Crawford and guys like Lomachenko should be fighting, but they're stuck on Top Rank Island. So I'm not sure where these guys go from there. One last thing he was touching on was his potential fight with Vasyl Lomachenko. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's George Gamboza. I hope I said his name right. George Gamboza. But he was speaking on his potential fight with Vasyl Lomachenko and how he feels like he's actually that next guy up at 130 pounds. You know, he feels like maybe he's being overlooked because of Vasyl Lomachenko and his and all his credibility. And you know, I was talking in another video about how Vasyl Lomachenko has nobody to fight except for really Gervonta Davis, who has a really big name. But I hadn't realized how active Kambosos was. I didn't know he was that active at 135 pounds. I thought he was actually I thought he was bigger than that. You know, so I'm really not sure why he's not sparring a welterweight. Maybe he wants more speed and he wants to, you know, a guy to push him a little bit more. It's interesting too. Why is he sparring a guy at 130, 135 and not a guy at 140, 147? But he was just speaking on his potential matchup with Vasyl Lomachenko. And he feel like he might be getting overlooked for that fight, and maybe that's his next fight. You know, maybe after Vasyl Lomachenko figures out who he's gonna fight in the beginning of 2019, maybe Kambosos will be his mid-year or end-of-year fight, which would be good for his career. You know, he's a guy who's his name has been out there for a long time. He's never gotten a bad rep when it comes to sparring Manny Pacquiao. You never heard anybody say, well, Manny Pacquiao just dogged Kambosos out in sparring. Pacquiao knocked him. You know, you only hear good things about this guy. So I'm wondering whether, you know, is he really the next big thing? Is Lomachenko kind of like trying to play the shadows on behalf of Bob Earl? Because if he takes a loss, then his career takes a hit. If it's a loss to a guy who people think he shouldn't lose to, if it's a loss to a lower tier fighter in some people's eyes, or if it's a loss to a guy on the come up instead of a guy like Manny Pacquiao or a guy like Gervonta Davis. So, you know, a lot of big things going on, you know, in the sport of boxing right now, man. I'm trying to keep up with the content. Hope everybody's hitting that like and subscribe button. Always check the the description box for all your boxing gear needs, whatever boxing gear needs. I'm always trying to drop a little something in there. Hopefully I can keep adding new stuff to it. I'm going to start doing these Pacquiao t-shirts, so be looking out for that. And hopefully, you know, Pacquiao gets to extend his career out, man. I hope this, you know, this Adrien Broner fight is not the end of us getting to enjoy Manny Pacquiao. If you guys know a homeless person, man, you know, go down there, talk to him, take him some soup, take him some crackers, some bread, some toast, something, man. It's cold outside, a blanket. If you ain't got nothing else to talk about boxing, man. You know, tell them about Cardinal Red, man. We out of here.